So this is the newest project. It's a Carson 6x12 utility trailer. Already had a trailer. It's a 5x8 though. And my father-in-law said he got a good deal on this one. So I said, yeah, keep it over here, and as long as I can use it, you pay the fees and I'll do the maintenance and stuff on it. It's gonna need some new wood, got one really bad piece there, and then that one there I'm going to replace. Doesn't really have any tie downs in here, so I'm going to put a bunch of tie downs. Probably going to weld a piece of angle here on the fenders to help strengthen them. Most trailers have that. Checked the bearings already, cleaned them, repacked them. He wants to put new clearance lights. They're missing. Got a couple of those. We're gonna probably enclose this box so we can lock it up. And so this trailer's a 2008. I was checking the bearings. I looked under here, and the axle has a 2010 date on it. Then I was looking over here. It looks like whoever replaced this axle cross-threaded this nut here. So I got a new U-bolt to replace that one. The frame is just angle iron. Even this here is, so this whole thing flexes quite a bit. Kind of bothers me, but I don't know. I guess it's okay. I might weld some supports up or something, but I figure I'm just hauling quads with this and some firewood, but I won't be able to load it all the way up like my other trailer with the firewood. My other trailer, the whole frame, tongue and frame and these cross members and everything are actually C-channel. It's kind of built like a miniature car hauler. And probably replace these tires too and get a spare. Eventually I'll probably spray it with bed liner, the whole thing, so you can see the flex. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the camera. It's just with me putting my foot on it, and a little bit of pressure. And the tongue C-channel, but then it's just welded to the angle iron frame and don't even come all the way out to here. It's just welded to that. Not a big deal. I mean, it's obviously worked this long. It will be nice to have the extra room. I could fit 2 quads in my current trailer if I stand one up. This thing, I could probably fit them all sideways in here. So I'll start this project up pretty soon. I'll get started on this. This fender's bent up a little bit. Straighten that out, and we'll put this angle iron here, strengthen this. It's got a nice gate on it, solid. This is my current trailer, me and my dad's. I actually got this from my wife's grandfather, who had it built to haul firewood, because that was their only source of heat. And this trailer's built, it's pretty stiff. It's built better than that Carson. It's got 6 lug axles instead of the usual 5. It's got bigger C-channel tongue. And this whole frame is actually C-channel. Kind of built like a miniature car trailer. Cross members are C-channel. The floor is a steel floor. It just had stake sides on it. And I welded this angle iron and put the plywood. Now these ammo boxes on the fender. So this is what I'm going to do with the Carson. Weld this angle iron in here like this to strengthen these fenders up. You got tight downs everywhere on this thing. On the floor. Up there. So I guess we'll sell this one. I don't know. It's gonna be hard to sell this trailer. It's built pretty well. I don't really want to get rid of it. See how this trailer is constructed. This is the tongue, C-channel. Comes all the way out to here. C-channel cross members. These are C-channel. All the way back. Steel floor. It's pretty more quite a bit more heavy duty than the Carson. I'm not sure who built this one. He had somebody make it, I think. All right, well, the other trailer sold for $1,400. So that was good. Get started on this thing. I wanted to take out these rotten boards, but of course they're Torx head. I don't have the proper size, so it's not going to work today. I will get these old rail tie down things out, and another idea I have is thinking about getting a Jeep, an old CJ5 or military Jeep, and they will fit in here, but I'm thinking about box or triangling in the frame. This is angle iron, just to stiffen it up some. Something like that. Everything I've read, that those Jeeps are usually under about 2,800 pounds. So, I mean, that's with the 4-cylinder though. Hopefully I'm gonna get one that has a V6 swap in it or a V8 Chevy. So, it's gonna be a few hundred pounds more. But just to be safe, I think I'm going to stiffen this frame up, and then eventually I gotta weld in some braces so I can put some decent tie downs in here. The trailer has a 3,500 pound axle, so I think we'll be alright. But let's get these old tie downs out of here. Alright, well, I took some of the bad boards out and I pressure washed the rest of them yesterday. I found some interesting stuff over here. shackles cattywomp this. It's rubbing against the hanger, and then the spring's hitting the hanger here. And then this U-bolt is crooked. So I don't know if this they hit a curb on this side or something at speed or whatever. Who knows? In California, it could have been a pothole, it could have been anything. But I've come to the conclusion that I'm gonna buy a bigger axle anyways. I go up to a 5,200 pound axle. I already got springs that I had from another project I was doing that I never did. So I'm not rated for the 5,200 pound. I mean, with the 3,500 pound axle, I was going to be right, probably slightly overloaded. So next step though is we're going to box in the angle iron frame here. This metal siding is tucked in though, but it's not welded here, so I'm going to cut all along here a little bit, probably about ½ inch or so, because it's not welded to up to here. And that way when I box it in, I get welding it to the good metal here. I'm going to put a couple cross members in here. That way I can bolt some good tie downs. And what else? What else are we going to do? Oh yeah, I'm going to reinforce the tongue a little bit. Now that I'm going to bigger axle, I'm not about weight. So now that I'm going to the bigger axle, it means 6 lug hubs. So I got a couple of wheels that I found. I got some K5 Blazer wheels. Then I got whatever those are, came off of 6 by 5.5, both of these. But I don't know if they're going to be too wide. So we'll have to test for them once everything gets bolted up. Alright, we're boxing in the frame today. 3/16 inch plate. Just got this side tacked in. Welding this with my farmer welding this basically with my flux core, and I'm no welding expert. I just high school metal shop, and then learned some from my dad, and other than that, just doing little projects here and there like this. So it's not that pretty, especially welding with the flux core, but it'll work. I got this steel in 3-foot length, so I'm welding the seams in an eye pattern like that. kind of stitch welding it here. I don't know if I'm going to weld the whole entire length. It'd probably be stronger, but it's going to take a lot of wire, but we'll see. Alright, well, I changed my mind again. For the time being, we're just going to leave this 3,500 pound axle under here. But I think I went over this before. This right side of the trailer just was totally messed up. It must have took a big hit or something, or and then when they replaced this axle, it's a newer axle. Pretty sure I went over this, but one of the U-bolts weren't even doing anything. They're so cross-threaded, it was just sitting on there, this inside one. And then so what it caused was this whole spring was basically twisted. You can kind of see it here. Like, I know this is just bumped over, but if you look, the whole spring is kind of bent and twisted. Just causing the shackles to rub on the hanger here, and the spring was hitting the hanger here as well. And so when I went to go get the spring off, it turns out every bolt on here was cross-threaded. Or it was the wrong threads or something. They just ran it on there. So we're gonna need all new U-bolts. I'm putting these heavier springs on. These are from a I think these are for a 5,000 pound axle. So I'm just mocking it up here. I got new shackles that are a little longer so the spring don't hit this plate anymore. It's looking pretty good. Look like the shackle angle is going to be better. Got new bolts. Got to get a couple more new bolts. Thinking about might have to get longer U-bolts because the spring is thicker. So I'm just testing this out right now. And it is hitting the nylocks now. And I've still got a gap. Plus it's gonna pull down even more when I tighten it. So this length might be alright, but I might get if I can get another 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 an inch longer U-bolts, I will. But I think, yeah, these springs are gonna be a lot better. This spring I took off here is actually different from that spring over there. So this trailer already had this axle replaced once. And then on top of that, they already replaced one of these springs again. And when they did it wrong and it ended up all cattywampus. Oh, another thing. This they must have had this trailer loaded up so heavy one time, actually feel where the U-bolt here was riding on the frame here. So they must have really maxed this thing out. But these new springs are gonna, I think they're gonna work pretty good. Heavier than the ones that were on there. It's just gonna make the shackle angle and all that better, I feel like. Plus we'll bolt these in right, so they're not, it's not gonna twist on us. One more thing. These bolts are ready to be replaced anyways. You can see the grooves in them from the shackles. At least this side wasn't cross-threaded. am I doing that one for? I need to do this one. I just gotta use a bigger hammer. Alright, ready to put the new one in now. Got the axle held up with that jack. Got the bottle jack holding up the rear of the trailer. And we just got the front foot jack holding up the front. I gotta find the extra leaf spring I have somewhere. We'll be back. I just mocked this spring up in here and show you how it goes. It's pretty self-explanatory, but you just want to make sure you got your bushings in here and your eyelets. I like to put the front in first so I can just swing up the rear to do the shackle side. Glad this side came off easier than the other side. The other side, my impact when I can get this stuff off. I gotta use a breaker bar. Slide the bolts in like so. Get the other bolts for this side. On these shackles, there's a flat side and kind of rounded side. So you want the flat sides going in. Other bolt, bring this side up. Okay, there we go. And these are all locking nuts. And you don't want to tighten this all to where it's squished together, because this all needs to move freely. So tighten them up till the, you can see 3, 4, 5 threads come out. Because if you tighten these up super tight, it just pinches everything together and then the suspension gets bound up. And for your bottom plate here, it's going to go like this. And you want the rounded part going down, pointed down. Get your U-bolts. I'm gonna jack the axle up a little bit so it just fits into place. Actually, I'm letting the axle down. Okay, now the axle's resting on the leaf spring. The leaf spring pack bolt's gonna go through this middle part. Put a nut on there just to hold it. Get your other U-bolt. Another nut. See how that is? I'm gonna put the other nuts on here. We're gonna tighten them in a crisscross pattern. You know, you want equal amount of U-bolt coming out of the bottom. Usually they say like 60 foot-pounds on these. 40, just like 60, but it all depends. Look up for your application. I'm just gonna tighten this all up and then we'll be back. Alright, so see how we have an equal amount of thread sticking out on all these? They're evenly tightened. There's a slight bend in the mounting plate. And then on the spring bolts, see, we got 4 threads or so sticking out. They're tight. These are locking nuts. They're equal, but everything's still loose and able to move and not get bound up. I got this jacked up, so this is the full weight of the trailer on this axle now. Look how much better this is. With the heavier springs and the longer shackles, we're nowhere near hitting this. Before, with just the way the trailer, it was damn near already rubbing up against this the mounting bracket. Already got the other one done over there. Put our tire back on, and I think this will be part 1 for this. The rest of the stuff is pretty much cosmetic. Gotta replace a few boards, get some storage options going.